All right. Welcome everybody to the Super Metroid Any Percent race. We have Kipp versus Toasty Muffins, and it's going to be a good race. We're going to do a little pre-interview before the run begins, and I want to shout out the sponsor, Vi.gg. You can bet on the runners. All you have to do is type !bet in the chat, and you'll have a link to do that if you are of legal age and residence. How you feeling, Kipp?
Hey, Adam. Feeling pretty good. And excited to race Toasty. Toasty and I have never been able to race before. I hear a bunch of echo. Is somebody playing their sound through speakers?
Yeah,
Nope.
that's me. Sorry.
Oh,
I'll turn it down.
But yeah,
it wasn't me for a change.
I'm excited to race Toasty. He and I have never been able to race before. So Toasty, good luck.
Thanks, Kipp.
And
yeah.
I was
Good
gonna
luck
have
to you
my co-commentator Kuro. Just wanted to introduce you, and you can interview Toasty.
Well, Toasty, I want to know which route you guys both running. The new one? You guys running new route?
I am going to be running the classic old route.
Ooh. So we have a split route going there?
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. We'll let you all know when that route's going to be diverging.
Yeah, I'm also not going to be doing new route like straight up. Usually in races, I run Captain Picard route. It depends on kind of the scenario, but it's still fan tuned first, but it just puts Kraid in front of Ridley to get a little bit of extra safety to, make some of the lower Norfair stuff a little bit safer. So that's probably what I'll be doing tonight, unless something goes tragically wrong beforehand, and then I have to try to catch up. But I think I'm going to lose because I can see on the screen Toasty is already at G4, dude. How on earth did you get there so fast?
I don't know his energy count.
A little bit of money on the line, and I throw the rules of fair fight out the window. Got a head start.
He nails it. Is a new route.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this will be fun. Yeah, and just say that even the Captain Picard route, basically a safer new route, is still a heck of a lot more dangerous and more difficult than the old route that I'll be doing. So it's still cool, and we'll be doing different routes. It's kind of fun to see different routes compete. So yeah, I wish you very good luck, Kipp. Yeah, and I hope you stay safe.
Yeah, you too, man. And at this point, I'm going to mute the mic and get ready to go. So I'll be listening for the countdown.
All right, good luck to both of you guys.
All right, thanks, and thanks for commentating. Enjoy the race.
Thank you. All right, we are going to get started as soon as these runners are ready. Looks like Toasty's already at the final area. Turian, he's at the elevator. He's ready to beat the game and win the race right now. So we're going to see a deviation with the routes. Kipp's is going to go up at Red Tower. Toasty's going to go down at Red Tower, meaning Toasty's going to do the more classic route, and Kipp's going to do a risky route, but he's going to play it a little safer by doing Kraid first, which isn't that much slower than doing Ridley first, if I'm not mistaken. You just lose the speed booster for a couple rooms.
Oh man, look at that! Early Mother Brain. Close to her.
That looked like a save state. What's going on with that stream? We need Gothic Logic to do some oh, that's for Mario. Never mind. Frame by frame analysis. All right, we got a nice little sync here. Exciting action we got going on here.
And the runners are getting ready.
Yep. Our restreamer is counting them down right now as we speak.
Yeah. And now I think both runners should be starting.
I'm looking forward to this. You don't see too many route deviations in any percent. Usually, a lot of people run new route, or if one runner runs new route, the other one has to run new route. But
then again, it all depends on consistency. See who gets the better movement, saving the frames.
Yeah, Kipp lost a little time in that first room. Not the way you want to start the run.
This is the beginning part. That's
I know.
A little bit all right.
That was a bit of a meme. I was just memeing there. Series doesn't really matter too much. One of the world records was 41:56 by Oats and Goats, and he said like right off the beginning. He was having a horrible series. He's like, imagine getting world record with the worst series ever. So, and it was the worst series ever, and he got world record by 2 seconds. So,
Just shows you how good he is. Here, these two runners are taking damage. They get through this fight pretty quickly, so really just skedaddles.
yeah, it's a lot faster than 100 shots.
Wish I knew that was a kid.
Well, usually I would just end up taking so much damage that, you know, the fight would end before I could get 100 shots in. Just because I sucked. But it was a good thing because it ended up saving me time and I got to Planet Zebes quicker.
I always thought this theme hurt you as a kid when I was playing. I'm like, oh man, I wanted to die, I'm gonna die.
Oh, you mean the escape music?
That and the steam hits you, I'm like, oh no, I'm losing more health. But then you realize it's just nothing.
Yeah. Thankfully, they give you plenty of time. There's really no way you should blow up on either of the escapes, unless you want to see the planet blow up. Which I did as a kid. I wanted to see like if it was a game over, which it is a game over if you manage not to escape on time. One of the things I love about Super Metroid is the atmosphere when you first enter Planet Zebes.
How the planet looks dead.
Yeah.
Nothing's going on.
Absolutely.
Both runners are they should be doing some arm pumpings here. There's a few of them. They're gonna take advantage of that, which, if you don't know, arm pumping pushes Samus a pixel ahead, which over the time can save a few seconds.
Yeah, I think Kipp got a few more in than Toasty did there. Kipp, a very experienced runner, he's probably got them down pat. Very nice moonfall there from Toast. That was impressive, a parlor moonfall.
You got it again. Yep.
Yeah, Kipp didn't go for it. I don't even know if he has Moonwalk on right now. You need to have Moonwalk selected, which kind of alters the entire controls and the feels of the game.
Moonwalking if you want to turn around.
Yeah, I tried to put it on once, and I just kept Michael Jackson every 2 seconds. So I'm like, yeah, I don't need. I'm just a casual player. I don't need the time.
To get one of the most important items in the game, because I'm sure without this morph ball, you could even complete.
I don't think so. I know there's like a 0% run that was done, maybe with save states. Yeah, by a human. I think it was with save states, and it was a 0%. I have absolutely no idea how that was possible, but I know the morph ball is pretty much one of those items that 99% of cases you absolutely need. You need to be able
Without the morph ball,
get down.
You won't be able to get to Fatuna or Ridley.
You need the morph ball. It's a lot of people just think, oh, it's a part of the original suit, but it's a power up, and so are missiles as well. You have to collect missiles, and we're gonna probably see 4 missile packs, which is one more than the required amount for 90%. But having that extra missile pack is safer for Mother Brain 1, so that way you don't, run out of missiles and have to lose the race because of it potentially.
I believe you have to. I'm surprised this is the only room that you have to kill all the pirates, and the other one you just go up fast as you can.
Yeah, right here we're gonna have the climb. I believe we have 2 right-siders. No, Kipp does a little bit of Behemoth. That's right. So when you do all these ledge grabs and spin jumps, that's called the Behemoth climb, and they're both doing it actually a little bit here. It's pretty impressive, and but it's no faster than doing the right side climb that you see most runners do. But it just looks cool.
Swag.
Yeah, and it's also runner preference. Sometimes it's hard to do, wall jump, wall jump, wall jump, wall jump, wall jump up the right side. Sometimes you have to, sometimes it's nice to kind of fly up the middle of it.
Yeah.
So we're going to be coming up to a mini boss here, the Chozo statue, Bomb Terizo, and they're going to be getting the bomb, but they're not going to get out easily. So if you want to explain this boss fight a little bit.
What they're going to be doing is shooting the boss, Bomb Terizo, in the chest area. Might be using missiles. You don't want to spam the missiles when they get it, because it gets the boss has certain iframes where if you spam it, it doesn't take any damage. But they want to do it just a way where it doesn't get enough. I think it was below 100 health, where the head falls off, where the last bomb or rocket will kill the boss completely.
And that's exactly what both runners did. Toasty had a little bit of trouble there with missile luck, it looked like, or maybe he spammed or something, but So it took him a little longer, but he didn't. Neither runner ended up having the cutscene where his head blows off when you reach under 100 because they killed him before that cutscene could take place.
And now here, these runners getting their first tank.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those items that they're like, here, take this, please. You know, this is a gimme. Like it's almost harder not to get it.
To go alone, take this.
Pretty much, yeah. And for a while, that's the only E-Tank I believe they'll have. I know that's the only E-Tank you get a new route before Fantoon, which is why Fantoon is so dangerous.
Oh yeah. Now they're making their way to another important secrets break in the game, which allows you to skip going all the way to, was it Spore Boss?
Spore Spawn, yeah.
Spore Spawn, where
it's so slow.
Yeah, what they're doing here is called a mock ball, which they have to jump just right through the door where they're going to be flying to that top platform, press down once, and as they're falling, press down and right, almost exactly the same time to morph into a ball and keep their running speed, which allows them to run past these little, or roll past those pillars that are falling to get to these super missiles.
Yeah, it's definitely not that hard to do especially if you practice a little. Like it's something that you could do as a casual player if you want to like skip Spore Spawn and just get super missiles early and just wreck the game. But it's not that hard. It's something that you definitely can't take for granted. It's used in several rooms, including leaving Ice Beam. That's a lot harder mock ball to do because you have to set it up properly. And I also want to mention why Toasty didn't shoot the pirates earlier. He actually just took damage from them. That's because new route health does not matter nearly as much as old route, classic route health does not matter as much, which is what Toasty's running. Kipp, he killed them with missiles, so that way he'd have as much health as he can for the Fantoon fight.
And you're gonna need all the help you can in that fight.
Yeah, and we've already, I think we saw a death. I think we've had 1 or 2 deaths already on Fantoon in this tournament that I've seen, probably more. And when you die, it's
Soapsy and AGDQ died. One of them died in low percent ice at that time.
Oh, Oates died in a race. I don't know. I think it was any percent. But he died. He had like the worst Fantoon fight. He enraged Fantoon, which we'll explain when we get there. Because you can see Kipp's going to be close to Fantoon. He's going to go up the red tower here. Not easy to get up this room.
Oh no. Especially not good with wall jumps.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that it's the hardest thing, but you see, like, every little room has some kind of mechanic. Like, there's a nice D-boost there from Kipp. I believe you have to hold A and B and then the opposite direction. I haven't done one in a while, but you can see, like, there's another one. They're like, in every room, you do some kind of damage boost.
I haven't attempted those in my practice runs.
It's definitely a really cool speed strat.
Well, it looks good, but also if you do it wrong, it can kind of kill you.
So in case y'all are wondering, Kipp's route is going to be faster by about 100 seconds, I think, because he's not doing the fastest, but it's a way faster route. It's just way riskier, and if he dies, then Toasty's going to have like a 9-minute lead or 10, 12 minute lead. So, but right now Kipp is definitely in the lead. His execution has been flawless. He's on really good pace right now, and Toasty is as well. He's just doing the slower route, so he's got a lot less room for error.
Yeah, you can explain this crazy moat skip trick.
Okay, so there's 2 ways to skip the moat. If you get a frame perfect jump, which Kipp did not get, you can do a continuous wall jump with another 2-frame window. But you have to do the horizontal bomb jump, and he missed it, so he's falling in the moat. That's new route. This room right here is where you're going to lose a lot of time. Fortunately for Kipp, he's back there. He is doing the route, and his opponent isn't. So losing like 20 seconds there is not gonna, take away his lead. But that right there is a really hard strat to do, and that's the backup strat. So to give you an idea of how hard that room is to cross without the speed booster or the grapple beam.
Explaining that, Toasty over there just got the quick raid kill, which is actually pretty hard if you don't know what the timing is.
Yeah, basically you want to overload his health so that way you can kill him before he can start his second phase cutscene, because he'll stand up and he'll make it really not worth your time. It's really not good to have him stand up. It's called a glitch in the community, stand-up glitch. Because it's runner wants to see him stand up, so they call it a glitch because it's not supposed to happen in the speedrunning community.
And now we're here at Fatoon.
Yeah, keep your eye on Kipp.
Boss.
There's a lot of RNG in the phases. He's gonna try to do some Dopplers where he basically stuns Fatoon repeatedly with missiles by stuttering them to get more missiles than you're normally allowed to have. And he looks like he's got a bad pattern here. His health should be okay, but keep an eye. He could die here as Toasty picks up an E-tank in the grade layer. Looking pretty good. He didn't super him, did he? Okay, no, he's just going to take a 3 phase.
And he got it.
And he got it. That was smart by Kipp, Play it safe. Don't go crazy trying to get his health lower than it needs to be. And as long as you don't die there, I mean, the rest of the route it's not that it's free. There's definitely places to die, but he's going to have to be he's got to be a lot more relieved now that Fatoon is dead.
Yeah, that's probably the one thing that's back of his mind. How am I going to handle Fatoon? What's he going to do? That's
normally you're supposed to have. In new route, you only have 1 E-tank. You're supposed in like classic route. I think you have all. Yeah, you'll definitely have all 3 by then. Maybe not. Oh no, not all 2. But like in casual play, you're supposed to have like 4 or 5 probably by then.
Let's see if you could find them.
Yeah, but having only 1 E-tank there is a nightmare.
What's he doing with just regular suit on?
I think he does 40. That might be too high. I think it is 40 because I think 3 hits takes an E-tank away. Yeah, I think it's 40. So I'd say Kipp still has a lead. It depends on how well Toasty executes, whether or not it increases or decreases.
He's going to gravity room. I think the speedrun strat's bowling room.
Yeah, because basically when you get to the Chozo statue, Morph Ball, you look like a bowling ball in his hand, and he walks like he's setting up to bowl. He never throws you, but it looks like he's going to the entire time. Meanwhile, Toasty is heading for Speed Booster early. Not early. Technically, it's he had supers early, but he did. Technically, it's early because he got up there without going around. You're supposed to go around casually, but it's not too hard to get up that mountain area. Meanwhile, Kipp is currently being bowled, as they say in the community. But he's going to actually get dropped right by the gravity suit room. And Toasty's got Speed Booster. You're going to see some cool strats with the Speed Booster from Toasty, maybe Ocean Fly, but it's going to make that moat skip a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see an Ocean Fly.
Crazy, but once you get it down, it's pretty easy.
Ocean Fly setup is just, sparking over the moat, like, into the door without going all the way through is that's not too bad because you can charge in the previous room. Really need that. It'll be like that extra E-tank I was describing earlier for safety.
So now Kipp's heading towards Ridley? No, he's going.
He's gonna be going down. He's going to be going down to Crade first. He's going to go back down that red tower.
He's going to save your route.
Yeah, he's going to do Crade first, which is a little slower because you don't have Speed Booster for the room before Crade. Which is a lot quicker if you can just plow right through the enemy. But it's a lot better to have that E-tank and Crade's layer for Norfair. Lower Norfair especially. Toasty has the Wave Beam now. That'll come in handy when he does some X Factors later, which is a charge wave combo. That'll be fun to see. Probably gonna do some on Ridley, some on bot. Definitely one on bot Twoon if you can.
Yeah, that boss. It's actually pretty easy if for a beginner. You just sit in the left corner and just shoot charge shots. But with these runners, they're gonna do a quick kill on him that hopefully they both get.
Yeah, nice little one round. It takes one X Factor with all 4 hitting, and then it should take 5 supers after that. Nice little supers to the head. So we're gonna see like a little high five here. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. We're gonna have a high five.
And they just high five with the screen transition.
Yep. That's why I love when they run when you have one route of each, because you can get a couple high fives throughout the run. Ooh, having a little trouble. This is a pretty precise jump. There we go.
The shine spark all the way through there.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of cool sparks you can do with the speed booster, and that's why classic route isn't as slow as people make it out to be. I mean, you can still get really good times with it. You can get like a 43 if you're really, really good because of strats like that.
It's all movement. Just like Mario's movement saves time.
Yeah, tell me about it. So we're gonna have a quick kill here on the left side for Kipp, hopefully. We do not want to see Kraid stand up, or else that'll be some more of his route time saved and eaten away.
Well, another known fact, in case you didn't know, going to Morph Ball actually saves lag on this boss. If you're standing up, as Kraid comes up, the lag is crazy. And with another quick kill. So both runners did get both Kraid quick kill.
Yeah, good point. I didn't mention that. I haven't mentioned that before, but yeah, that's because it has to load when Samus is standing up. It has to load twice as much of her body, and it's a lot more on the hardware because the Kraid cutscene is insane as it is for the hardware. So keep an eye on the right side of your screen. We're gonna see a much nicer skip here, or not nicer, but nice, really cool with a speed booster, I should say. Should be a little bit easier to get across this moat.
A little power bomb to fill up here. Those enemies right there have a high chance of dropping power bombs if they're killed, especially by a power bomb.
Yeah, I think if you use a power bomb, I thought it was 100%, but I'm not sure. I think it's 100% if they do drop something.
Like if you're low on energy, they drop energy.
Oh, okay. So we're not going to see an ocean fly, but we're going to see another spark here for Toasty, making the moat skip a lot easier than that bomb jump that Kipp had to do earlier.
Another thing we didn't mention is that first shine spark he did in that room. You have to do what's called a buffer run, I believe it's called, where you press the run button shortly after a certain little frame they need to do there to actually build up enough time to get the shine spark. Otherwise, that room is not accessible to shine spark. I forget the correct term, but it's like a run buffer.
Yeah, it's called you can call it that. I've heard it called a short charge before too. Short charge because it's you're getting the speed booster prior to when Samus normally does, because normally there's a counter how many times Samus reaches a frame in her running animation, and once that frame hits, or like I think it's like 4 or 5 times you need to, or I think it's 4. Yeah, it's 4. I'm pretty sure. But basically it triggers a speed boost, which allows you to do a spark. And then, but if you press run and tap run on each specific frame, you can actually get a shorter charge than what you normally would have. Toasty with a little different fight here. Toasty used an X Factor on Fantoon, basically a charged wave beam while selecting a power bomb. A lot of damage. Each one of those 4 charges does the equivalent of one charge shot. So you're getting 4 charge shots in one.
And it's actually very hard. You have to know the exact patterns that Fantoon does in order to line those up right. And he gets the kill. No deaths here.
Yeah, might have saved a little time over Kipp. I'm not, maybe about the same, I'd say. I think the RNG was a little better for Toasty there, but this is a pretty decent race so far. I honestly think because the moat skip was better for Toasty, I think he's probably only within like 30 or 40 seconds.
But anything can happen. He can get like a bad Ridley or just mess up your movement.
Oh yeah, that's why it's fun to see when they get lined up.
I believe now they're going for the same boss, if I'm correct. They're both making their way to Dragon. Oh no, maybe Ridley. Well, no,
New route.
New route should be Ridley, since he did Kraid first.
Toasty just has to get the gravity suit, and then I believe they're both gonna go down to Ridley. Or no, new route. You're gonna go to he's gonna go to Dragon first, because you can actually go to Meridia on the way down. It's a little bit easier because you can also get the space jump for safety in races. So that way you don't have to do the lava spark, which we should be seeing from Kipp really shortly now that he has the speed booster. So Kipp's gonna farm up a little bit here, probably looking for some supers, and he's maxed out on supers. He's looking really good for health-wise. He should have no issues in Lower Norfair for his ammo count, and his health is maxed out too. But you'd be surprised. Lower Norfair, most enemies do 50 damage a pop, even with the gravity suit.
Yeah, I think they expect you to have at least a full line of energy tanks going down there.
Yeah, that's the second to last area you're intended to go to.
Toasty over there is getting his little gutter ball and getting his gravity suit, while Kipp just got his wave beam.
Yeah, there's really no way to skip that cutscene there. I believe it would be a major glitch. Yeah, because this is no major glitches technically, and 80% no major glitches. There is one cool thing you can do in 100%. If you need to collect the items to the right there, in that room where right before the gravity suit, you can actually lay a power bomb in a precise spot to make it so that you don't need to lay one later on, and it basically makes it so you can kind of fly through that room and collect everything you need much quicker. Pay attention to your left side. We're gonna be seeing a. Oh, he's just gonna do the. Okay, he's not doing the lava spark. He's gonna do a D boost instead. But he can set up a gravity jump where, basically in this game, if you pause, the game carries out for a certain number of frames. So you can start a jump with the gravity suit, take off the gravity suit, and you get an incredibly high jump.
That's crazy.
Yeah. If you don't have the gravity suit on, you're gonna take a lot of damage. You're gonna be dead in like 2 or 3 hits. So maybe not that much quickly, but.
And he can come to the. We're getting close to the worst game in the room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you mean. It definitely is. We've seen. I think we've seen a couple runners die in this tournament in that room. It's really rare to see a race where both runners, make it through alive. Very impressive short charge there from Kipp.
How many button presses is that?
I think that's the shortest charge you can get. Unless he did it off the ledge, so that. Yeah, I think it has to be short because you only have like a small room to do it. Kipp, very good runner. He's getting through these hard rooms. That's the worst one in the game right there.
Easy.
Yeah. It's very hard to do that precisely, but if you screw up at all anywhere in that room, you're losing a bunch of time and health. So Toasty, here's the route deviation, like we were saying. Toasty has done Kraid and Fantoon first, which is actually how the game intends it, and now Toasty is making his way through Meridia, gonna go kill Batoon and Dragon. Dragon's the one you really need to kill. Batoon's just down the way, and then Toasty's gonna end up coming down to where Kipp is in Lower Norfair. So they're probably gonna do like a little high five potentially, again. But it kind of depends how quick Toasty's Meridia is and how quick Kipp's Norfair is, because they might kind of lap each other depending on who plays better. So here's on the right, you can see Toasty's gonna set up for an X Factor here. Most runners use an audio cue to do this. And he nails it. Does he get the 5 supers? He did not get all 5, so now it's scary. Oh, he only got 3. Okay, he's dead.
Still finished them. Well,
yeah.
Probably longer than he intended, but he still got it.
Maybe 6 super. I thought I saw him land.
I think he missed 1 or 2.
Yeah, I think he shot 8 and he missed 3, maybe, because I know there was a couple he missed, like after Batoon started running around, basically on steroids. So there's another E-tank that the runners pick up. Normally you only have 3 here, but in a run, that crate E-tank comes in handy.
Kipp's here with Ridley.
So Toasty's gonna have to play it slow through this room. Normally you have, it's a really hard strat. You can do a halfie or a full halfie with a short, or not with a short charge, but maintaining a charge from the speed booster, the shine spark through this room. But Toasty's gonna probably lose a lot of time over Kipp, because I know Kipp does that strat. So if Kipp can execute, he's gonna save a lot of time over Toasty.
Now both runners are 2 different bosses that they both need to kill.
Yeah, you see this a lot. When you have a creation, you'll see one runner on one boss in New Route, usually Ridley, and then you'll see another runner on Dragon. So this means they're pretty close. It means that they're pretty close right now. Kipp's a little ahead because he's further down in his boss, but it's really actually a pretty close race. Yeah, depending on how well this boss goes for Toasty. He's got to be careful of the chain damage here, though. If you get caught within Dragon while attempting a blue suit, or getting caught like that can lose some time, but he's not going for the blue suit.
They killed almost at the exact same time. That's crazy.
That's pretty impressive. It's almost like a sync, but it really isn't, but it is at the same time. But basically the reason Kipp's ahead at this point is that once he gets done going back up to Dragon, Kipp picking up a safety E-tank there. Once Kipp gets done going back up to Dragon, he's a lot closer to G4 than when Toast goes down to Ridley, because Ridley's lair in the room that Kipp just came out of, that's furthest, as far, if I'm not mistaken, that's the furthest possible room you can be away from G4. So whereas
you're like
Meridia is the closest.
Like the opposite side of the planet, according to the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you can't be further away from G4 than because you have to go all the way through Lower, all the way through regular Norfair, and then all the way back up through the Red Tower as well, and then through Criteria. So that's why New Route is so much faster. You're so much closer to G4 after killing your final boss. Toast still has to go all the way down. So Kipp's gonna make his escape here. He's got to be careful because like a lot of these key hunters here, I'll do 50 damage a pop. The red ones, like he just lost 50 health from one hit, and he does have the safety E-tank that he grabbed, and but problems. I don't see him getting hit that many times. Meanwhile, Toasty going for the plasma beam, which you don't see in New Route. It's gonna make Toasty's mother brain fight much quicker.
I think plasmas used to kill those golden space pirates, but they use the spine shark for that now.
Yeah, plasma will actually make use of basically the ability to kill anything at this point without having to use shine spark, like Kipp did. Very nice escape from Kipp. He even got the little boost there. To make that cycle, you have to be really fast. He's only got one super missile, so I assume he's gonna farm somewhere. If there's a spot where you can farm right after Batwoon where that energy tank is. Probably see him farm there. Oh, we'll see him farm here.
Speaking of another spot, if you go to our sponsor website, vi.gg, you can go ahead and bet on these races that are coming up throughout the week. Even now, I'm not sure if you can bet on running races, but as long as you're in legal age and legal gambling age and is acceptable in your country, you can go ahead and head over there.
Yeah, for example, you could have bet on this race prior to this race, and you could be up for some bucks if you chose the right runner, which we don't know who that is yet. So you did place a bet on this race, which you should have if you could. Then you're definitely rooting for one or the other. But it's definitely an excited race. It definitely gets you more into the race, even if you love Super Metroid in the way that we do. So Toasty gonna go down as Kipp comes up. Look at that! I told you they were gonna have a high five.
It's a short 5, but it's still a 5.
It's amazing how that happens. I mean, it makes sense it's gonna happen, but it always seems to happen in the coolest areas, like an elevator. I think yeah, both of their high fives were in that area. It was just one room over, so
they couldn't hold hands anymore. They broke the gate, so they had to do it in the elevator.
So Toasty's gonna fly through a lot of these rooms with a speed booster, which Kipp did not have when he first did these rooms. So Toasty is gonna make up a little time. All the time he makes up, if Kipp, plays well, is gonna be lost because Kipp's gonna be much closer to D4. But then again, Toasty's gonna make up some time with having the plasma beam. It really is hard to compare these routes. There's so many things that you can save time on and lose time on.
It all depends on how runners are consistent with their runs.
Kipp's a pretty consistent guy. Toasty as well. Toasty's gonna be taking the back way in, utilizing the speed booster to the fullest effect. Kipp with a nice one round.
Might have saved some time compared to Toasty's right there.
Definitely, that's gonna help him a lot with his chances of winning. So the speed booster is extremely fast. That's actually the intended way to get down to here to where Proclaminer is.
Full halfie.
Can do it.
I think he just got it.
Yeah, very impressive.
You want to go back history of why they call it the full halfie and the half halfie?
Absolutely. So originally, the strat that was found was that you can do the entire room, but they always thought it was task only because of how precise it was time-wise, because you only have a certain amount of time before that charge goes away. So, but runners found that if they were fast enough, they could actually get high enough to where they could spark through half the room. It's about a quarter, but they called it a halfie. They said, hey, you get through half the room. It's still faster than having to do it the way Toasty did. So they called it the halfie. But then runners said, well, if we grind and grind and grind and do it as fast as we can, get a little ledge grab right before the door, or you angle down, then you can get through the entire room. So they started saying, instead of calling it a fully, let's just call it a full halfie, because it's the same trick, but we were able to get through more of the room.
Oh, funny tab that they did.
Yeah. Kipp's health's getting a little low here. He's probably not going to go for blue suit because of his health getting low, because chain damage could kill him pretty easily. He's going to go for it, and he's in a little trouble here. He's in a lot of trouble here. This could be the death that gives Toasty the win here. This is not where you want to be if you're Kipp. This is definitely not where you want to be. This is very frightening, and he does kill Dragon. I am not kidding. The odds of him surviving there, I would have given him 50-50, just because of, I didn't know how much health Dragon had left. It still takes a lot of it. So Kipp losing a lot of time there.
Is it a he or a she? Because those little things that fly around, they call them bugs, but I think it's Dragon's babies.
Yeah, I believe it's the spawn of Dragon that they kind of clean up the mess, their dead parent. Right now, the difference is that Toasty still has to do Ridley, and just right now, Kipp can just go. He's ready to just go. So Toasty is behind, but Toasty's gonna have a little bit of a quicker mother brain. Utilizing the plasma beam to, because when you shoot an enemy with a plasma beam and it's going through them, it kind of lets you run through the enemy using iframes. So again, another strategy that Toasty's able to do that Kipp is not able to do because of items picked up in classic route, which is the plasma beam in this case. Try to do it there. He's going to take quite a bit of damage, but
should be fine.
Yeah. But Kipp's definitely going to be in the lead because he's so much closer. Like, even if Toasty was done with Ridley and he's heading to G4, I still think Kipp would get there first.
Yeah,
because he's got to
track a whole lot.
Yeah, he's basically got to do everything that Kipp's doing right now. Like where Kipp's going to come out here is back in the red tower, I believe. And that's like Toasty would not even get to the red tower before Kipp does. Like Kipp's there. So he's gonna fall a little. It's all good. Kipp's on a pretty good pace. He had a pretty decent run, other than that Dragon fight that was a little.
Last round was a 45.
I believe you're correct. I think I think I commentated that one. Yeah, he got like a 45-30 something. I think it was definitely a really. I mean, it was a high. Maybe it was a high 45. I'm not sure, but either way, very 45. Good. He played it safe too, because his opponent had died. He did all kinds of safe strats and still got that kind of time. Basically speaks for him.
Most records are close to 43, 45s.
And Kipp's gonna play it safe here because he has absolutely no super missiles. So he's gonna save at the ship, which loses about 20 seconds, maybe a little less than that. But do not blame him at all. That is how you want to play it when you know you're this far ahead. And it's not over though. Toasty does have
got a nice
quicker kill.
Fight.
Yeah.
Fix that plasma.
Plasma beam is just so it's not. Oh yeah. Coming back to the Terminator room because I'll be back to this room. That's why it's called that. He's just flying through. Doesn't have to worry about missiles. He's got 10 supers. Yeah. So Kipp's gonna be coming to G4 at around 37-35. Right in the nose. So he gets to take a little breather while Toasty gets to out of lower north and get as quickly as he can.
In the original Metroid, you kill Ridley and Kraid, but in Super Metroid, which is the third in this installment, Ridley and Kraid are back. How is that possible?
I forget. There's a Metroid theory or like a. It's a theory. I think it's something that the developers explain. It's the same way I think Mother Brain comes back. I think that they're resurrected by some like higher power or something. I think Metroid Prime takes place in between one of these games or something. Or there's something like that. There is an explanation out there.
I'm have to do some Google searching.
Yeah, or binge on YouTube for like 10 hours of fan 10 hours of fan theories. I would say
that always bugged me.
Well, they are pretty cool boss fights, so it is nice to. I think the main reason they wanted to do it is to show you how much cooler the Super Nintendo is.
That's what I was thinking.
Like Kraid was a little tiny worm in the original game, and he's like this giant monster. Same thing with Ridley. Honestly, it just shows you how much quicker the new route is. I mean, Kipp's played really well. Don't get me wrong, but it seemed like Toasty was playing pretty well too. I mean, little things do add up, but the route Kipp is running is so much faster, but it is riskier. We saw Kipp almost die on Dragon, which would have handed the race over to Toasty, assuming he could make it through. He probably would have.
Definition of high risk, high reward.
Exactly. And Kipp's going to be coming up to the Baby Metroid cutscene. And we'll see if he can get his baby skip. It's an extremely hard trick. Another one of those tricks that was thought to be TAS only for a while, until runners grinded and found a way to manipulate the baby.
I'm not sure you can call this thing a baby anymore. In his teenage years.
Yeah, he's on a growth spurt. He's got to eat everything he can, including his own quote-unquote mother, Metroid 2. Ooh. All right, I see you, Kipp. I see you, Kipp.
No.
Oh, you might need another jump or two. He's going for it, and he's gonna get grabbed. And you have to be careful because if the Baby Metroid grabs you as you're going through the loading zone, you'll get soft locked, which basically means that the race. He could have lost the race there. That's why he kind of gave up the end there. if he risked it and lost, he would have basically soft locks, which basically means that he's stuck. He has to reset, and he has no
Luckily, he's
saves.
safe though. So.
Oh, he did have a save at the ship. That's right. But imagine if he had to go back to the ship though. Look, Toasty's almost to the ship. It would have been a very close race. That's right. He did save at the ship. Upcoming room as well before Mother. Couple minutes ahead. Maybe about 2 or 3. Probably 3.
Saving again?
Room before Mother Brain. He's saving here because there's a chance that he could basically run out of missiles in the next room. Actually, run out of health in Mother Brain 2 as well. You need at least to have 3 full energy tanks and an extra.
Metroid.
Yep, Metroid 1, except we can skip the Z-Batites using a precise clip utilizing an enemy and a spin jump. So that's much easier to do than what Metroid 1 has. So Toasty's going to be coming up to G4 here. Kipp is on an epic boss fight here. He's going to have to land 60 charge shots, I believe. Well,
fries, onion rings,
and eventually some ketchup. Ketchup's most important because ketchup can do enough damage to knock him below that 3 energy tank because it does 2 energy tanks of damage. So, and he only has basically 4.5 right now. But he'll know because Mother Brain doesn't start shooting ketchup until after, I believe, 47 shots. So he knows exactly. He's counting his shots just so he knows to be ready for that ketchup.
Samus is she must be allergic to tomatoes.
Yeah, that is definitely the scariest attack. Nothing does that much damage except for Dragon's chain damage, which is sort of a glitch. It's because of the blue suit not having iframes, but that's definitely the strongest intended attack that Kipp is dodging right now. Gotta be careful. If he gets hit once, he's gonna have to do this fight again. And Toasty's only gonna be like a minute behind. But
here comes the rainbow eye beam of death.
Yeah, and the reason he did damage there is because this attack does exactly 3 3 energy tanks, and you want to have less than 3 energy tanks, or you want to have less than 1 energy tank left. So Mother Brain doesn't, have to attack you down to. She'll just keep attacking you until you have this amount of health. So you might as well expedite the process. There's also a risk you can actually get killed.
Or you could be like me and play casually. Got to the point where she did the second rainbow beam and just killed you.
Yeah, it's kind of programmed in a way where you can actually die here. So, because sometimes she'll actually throw multiple attacks at you at once, and if your health is just right, you can actually be killed from it without being able to do anything. So sometimes the speed strats are also the same. Most epic gaming moment in history on the left side of your screen.
Rest in peace, baby Metroid. Rest in peace.
Okay, so Toasty not going for the baby skip, so what he does here is he intentionally makes his damage as low as possible so that the cutscene of the baby sucking Samus is not as long.
Short.
Yeah, look at that. Boom, done. Of course, the long part is when the baby Metroid says, "Oh man, I just sucked my mama to death." That same baby Metroid that was just attacking Toasty just saved Kipp and gave its life for Kipp in an attempt to kill. Yeah, Mother Brain though, she wasn't having any of that, but she's gonna have plenty of the hyper beam, which is what the baby Metroid just gave Samus, and she's getting wrecked right now. Very satisfying. She's dead. She tried to get one last attack in there, but Kipp blew it up with a bomb. And look at he's bombing her head. What a legend. And
Nice bomb flying.
kind of cool sync here. Toasty coming into Mother Brain 1 right as Kipp finishes off Mother Brain 3.
She respawned.
Little trouble there. Yeah, we're gonna see We're gonna see like Mother Brain never died here, just on a different screen. Kipp's gonna make his escape here. Probably not gonna save the animals because when I commentated with him, and I mentioned how if the race isn't close, you should save the animals for continuity's sake with Metroid Fusion. He basically laughed at me and said, "Yeah, no way." So he's probably not gonna save the animals. Probably wants to try and squeeze out a 46 here because he got a 45 in his last run, kind of, you know,
Well, he
every
did
minute.
saved like twice.
And he also had about the worst fight you can have on Dragon without dying. So
That too.
really good runner, Kipp. You know, even getting good times, even with all that stuff happening. And he can play it safe and still get that kind of time. Little trouble in Parlor here. He's still gonna get a 46 though, unless he decides to save the animals, which he won't, because he doesn't care about their precious
Lord.
lives.
He doesn't want to have Samus Metroid Fusion.
Yeah, Metroid Fusion cannot. JRP would not be able to finish the run without saving the animals. Fusion runner. GG's to Kipp, 4650.64, a very nice time. He's gotten a
With
45,
2 saves.
and a 46 so far in this tournament. Very nice times. And Toasty probably gonna get a nice sub 50 here, pretty easily. Maybe not easily actually, because this cutscene's quite long, but pretty good time from Toasty as well. And throughout was about 2 minutes faster, actually not quite 2 minutes, about 1.5 minutes faster. Executed it pretty well, so he saved a lot of that time. He just fell in the moat once, so probably saved about a minute due to routing. So the race was much closer than it appeared.
One thing sad about Super Metroid speedruns like this when a race, you can see the Metroid die twice.
Yeah, I honestly to witness it once, and this is I think my fourth or fifth. I think it's my fifth race I've commentated, and so I've seen it done. Well, I haven't actually seen it done 10 times because a lot of there were some deaths. I think this is the first time I haven't seen someone die, because Super Metroid Any Percent is just a ridiculously hard category to run without dying. So definitely props to both of these runners able to tackle this category without dying, and just to run it at all, you know, in front of hundreds of viewers. That's an amazing feat, I would say.
All right, I think we got Kipp here ready for our little interview. Tell us, Kipp, what was your thoughts on this whole run?
Hey guys, well, main thing, as I mentioned last week, is just, you know, trying to secure the win. Toasty's a great runner, but given the fact that I knew he'd be running, you know, old route, I figured I'd have a bit of a time advantage. So I didn't run straight new route, as I mentioned before. I got plenty of safeties. I even did a few extra saves and did the ship refill. And there were a few points in the run where I, you know, messed up some strats pretty bad, but overall, pretty happy. You know, I was able to finish comfortably and was never really in jeopardy of dying or anything. So yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
I did notice one thing you forgot to do, though.
What's that?
You forgot to save the animals.
That's where you're wrong. I absolutely 100% remembered to do the correct thing and kill the animals.
We're just messing around. But seriously though, how about that Dragon fight? Were you nervous at all? Because your health did get pretty low.
No, not really. I mean, like, you know, number one, Dragon is one of those fights that it's kind of weird. Like, it can go really, you know, easily, or it can get messed up and then it costs you just a ton of time. Like, it's kind of one of the heaviest penalties of any boss fight, I would say, in this game. But when I started getting kind of low, I still wasn't that worried, because I was like, well, you know, I shouldn't really go for a blue suit here now that I'm this low. And I run a lot of low percent ice. So in that category, you have to farm the goo and then like use missiles and stuff throughout the whole thing. So I basically just started doing that, and I knew that she was pretty close. So it wasn't really that big of a deal. And that's kind of when I decided to go ahead and refill the ship. I was like, my health and ammo are so low, I might as well just get full before Torian, and then that way keep it really safe.
Oh,
Toasty with
trolling
the
us.
major tease over there.
He went to the door. He went to the door and he set up the spark
Opened it
and
and then left.
My guy.
A legend.
That's what I get.
He actually let the animals
loving the
see,
animals.
like, our savior. Psych.
50-42 from Toasty. Very well done. Even, got to quote unquote save the animals there as well.
Hashtag play with our emotions.
We'll just assume that loading zone doesn't exist and it's a continuous room, so that shot was able to save them.
Yeah. Well,
So, go ahead.
I was gonna say we're gonna bring Toasty in here. I wasn't sure if we had time or not, but do you have anything to say, Toasty?
All right, Rip. He can join anytime he wants to. He's gonna get the word right now. Meanwhile, Kipp, any thoughts on that run in particular? I know you fell on the moat once, but did that like startle you at all?
No, not really. I mean, you gotta. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically, like, you gotta condition yourself to realize that this is a one-run scenario, and like, you can't just reset and then start again and try to get a PB. So I've been in a ton of races, and I don't know, man. I just don't get super duper frustrated anyway usually, because this game's really hard, and if you're gonna get mad every time you make a mistake, then you're gonna be miserable every single time you play. So I wasn't really worried, and I just knew that I needed to play my game, and I knew I had a lot of leeway. So on to round 3 now. I think I get to face the winner of the Sloaters versus Shiny Zenny match, which I'm really excited about. Both of those guys are really great runners, so should be fun either way. And I really want to say GG to Toasty. Toasty's a really great guy. He hangs out with me a good bit in my channel and stuff, and he's got some really killer times and does some cool stuff in SM. So it was awesome to be able to race him finally today.
All right, with that, last minute, we're running out a little time. I'd like to give one more shout out to Vi.gg for sponsoring all the runs that are happening today and in the future. So if you're in, betting, gambling age, pardon me, it's talking. Just go head over there to Vi.gg to bet on any other future races. They have a panel down below you can click on there, or you can hashtag or exclamation point bet.
Indeed. And definitely get to doing that if you can. And GG's to both runners, Kipp and Toasty. Shout outs to my commentator, Kuro. And I'm Adam Ferrari 64, and we are short on time, so we're going to head to the outro and head to intermission. I hope you all enjoyed this lovely race. Thank you, guys.